How's it going, everybody? Pitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm. It has been a hot minute since last I played. April the 4th is when I last have something marked on when last I played, and today is the 16th of June, both being 2025, of course. So yeah, been a little bit, so I will apologize in advance if I kind of have forgotten where everything is. But we do have a cutscene with Evelyn, so we're going to see how she's doing. She has brought us a garden pot. These pots are really handy. You can use them to grow crops of any season indoors. They also look nice outside, but out there they can only house in-season crops. Yeah, so not super helpful there. And she's kind enough to give us the crafting recipe for that as well. George is grumpy if he doesn't have his oatmeal on time. You have a great day, honey. Aw, thanks. See, Evelyn's just nice like that. So let's take a look here. So, clay, stone, and refined quartz. This is another one of the few uses for clay, and it's actually pretty good if you feel like you just don't have enough space with only having your greenhouse over here. This is a very good option for you. Let's see what we've got for mail. Ah, that's right, I did fall unconscious. But now we need to figure out what the heck we're doing, as it is winter. First, it looks like I was doing some tree chopping, which was probably a good idea, as I did not have a lot of wood, it would seem. So we'll put all this away, drop these in here, probably start more production of that. I think the mushroom we'll just go ahead and toss in here. And as for this, I guess we'll just leave it here for the time being. I'm not really sure what I want to grow, but we're going to leave it as is because we've got some things to talk about, and that is namely just winter as a whole. How's it work? This is the first time we've been seeing this season, so we of course need to kind of know the ins and outs. First thing you'll want to know is in winter, grass does not grow. The grass that you have on your farm, I do believe, and I might be able to check, will stay if it's there, but it will not grow. So bear that in mind if you're feeding your animals. Hopefully you have plenty of hay to get through the season. In addition, for any coop or any barn, regardless of how big or small it is, you are going to want to have a heater in both of them. And the reason for that is the animals will get mad if they get cold. And, you know, as somebody who also hates the cold, that's completely understandable. So do make sure that you have a heater. If not, you can purchase those at Marnie's and pick them up there with no problem. Let's see. I think we'll just leave it as is for the time being with that, and then I will go drop these off as we don't have any big quests going on right now. I'll just put the eggs in here just to make sure I've dropped those off in terms of shipping one of every crop. Pretty sure I have, but you never know. I thought I saw a kitty cat. Yep. Hi, Callie. Yeah, I just saw a little bit of grass there, so that does outright confirm it. So again, it does not grow, but it will stay if you did already have it. So bear that in mind. Things are going to be going a little bit slow today, because again, I'm kind of reorienting myself here. So of course, here's our greenhouse. As you can see, the ancient seed has already been watered because of the sprinkler. It's already been taken care of, so we're good on that front. Skill-wise, I think all we were missing was just combat. Yes, just combat, so probably won't need these, but at some point I do want to start building fences and the like, but that will probably be a year 2 thing, so I'm not super worried about it right now. I'm going to leave that tree there. But trees are another thing. Trees will basically also not grow. If they're already existing in your world, whether it's on your farm or not, they will still be there, but if you chop them down, they will not come back. I believe they will also not grow if they are not in their final stage, unless you have put tree fertilizer on them. So if you want to do that, then be sure to take care of that. Winter foraging, we do need to work on a bit. And as you can see, something has appeared over here. I do remember this as well. Let's take a look. The old tree is gone. However, with 100 pieces of hardwood, this could be fixed up. Alright, well, maybe we'll get to work on that. I'm going to quickly take one of these and kind of just do a quick mosey around the area, see if we can spot anything. I should have checked the luck for today. There's some mixed seeds and a holly, which is one of our forageables. We've already donated some of the forageables to the community center, as you can see. The winter root and the crystal fruit. But we do still need the others, and the crocus is the big one that I'm looking for here, as the snow yams are relatively easy to find, as you don't have to find them physically on the ground. There's another way to pick them up that's actually quite easy that I do want to show off pretty soon here. In addition, you'll also be finding powdermelon seeds. This is one of the very, very few things that can grow in the winter, actually in winter season, not counting using a greenhouse or something else that could grow anything in any season. So if you are looking to grow things, there we go. If you are looking to grow things, powdermelon is probably going to be your choice. You can also use mixed seeds to get the powdermelon, and you can also use winter seeds once you've got those from the community center to be able to... Ah, the giant stump. Big tree to the south. My farm blew down with 100 hardwood. I could turn the stump into something interesting. Indeed you could. But yes, the winter seeds will also grow in this season. Just, again, bear in mind that the winter, summer, spring, and fall seeds count as your forageable. They don't count as your farming skills. So if that's what you're using them for, just bear in mind you're not going to get that.
As we were back at the farm and about to head into town, I figured now was a good time to mention that someone has a birthday today, Krobus. He's the creature that hangs out in the sewers, and he'll sell you various things, so if you have not unlocked that area, he won't be on your calendar yet. For Krobus's love list, the wild horseradish is easily your cheapest option in terms of gifting, but as it is well past spring, it is possible you don't have access to one anymore. If that's the case, a diamond is your best bet, followed probably by the pumpkin. Everything else on this list that's here is either too valuable to give up right now, or something that you likely don't have access to. In the like list for Krobus, you've essentially got the option of either quartz or a gold bar. Quartz is cheaper, and you likely have both of these items by now, so the short version is that you should definitely have some options for both love and like items by this point.
A couple more here. We are going to need, as well, a winter chest. I'm going to go ahead and grab that hardwood for that little quest and see if I can't get that taken care of. But yes, let's quickly grab this, make a chest. Actually, should have made a big chest. That was a mistake. It's been a while since I played, in case you can't tell. We probably won't need a big chest, if I'm being perfectly honest, but just on the off chance. We're going to put that right here. We'll switch it to sort of a light blue color. That's a bit of a wintry color. And we'll just put in there what we're going to use for now. I am going to work on my farming a bit if there's time. If there's not, no big deal. So put these in. Don't even bother with the mixed flower seeds, as unsurprisingly, they are not going to work. So we're just going to stick with this. I'm going to hang on to this because I plan on donating it. So for now, this will do. So, as the game has mentioned a couple times, winter is sort of your weird season where you don't do a lot of farming. This is where you're going to take your time to build up your relationships, work on things like mining, fishing, etc. And there are quite a few events that go on, as well as a lot of birthdays. This is tied for... maybe someone will decide to move in. Yeah, maybe someone will. This is tied for summer with the most amount of birthdays as well. So a lot of birthdays, 4 separate events that go on, and so you'll always have an event pretty much once the season gets started, and some other things to do as well. For the time being, I'll quickly grab these. I'll kind of just make a run into town, I guess. I don't think there's anything else in here I would need to donate. Not even the, nope, not even the prismatic. We're good on that front. One thing I do want to do is upgrade a tool. So I'm going to bring these with me as well. Is there anything else I need to do? I don't think immediately there is. But I do know where I'm heading immediately from here. So let's go on and head out. And you will get this event whenever it hits winter. I do believe you have to trigger this before 4 p.m., so be aware of that. But we'll take a look and see what's going on other than my neighbor's dogs barking. So if you suddenly hear me talking quite a bit here, it's probably to try to mask the fact that the neighbor's dogs are very loud and annoying, and you're not supposed to have large animals on the second floor, but yet here we are. But yes, you did see that little creature run off, and there are some footprints here in the snow, so if you kind of follow those a little bit, maybe take a look towards a bush that it's hidden in, right-click on that. Eep, you caught me, I'm sorry, take it, take it. It looks so valuable I couldn't help myself. And you find an item, the magnifying glass. You now have the ability to find secret notes. These notes reveal rare and useful information and can be reviewed in your collections tab. Yeah, this is just an item like that's in your bag, kind of like the keys and stuff. You don't actually use up an inventory slot for this, so we're good on that front. So yes, we'll have the ability to start finding secret notes. You can find these in a lot of different ways. Ooh, hello. That being one of them, you can find the little digging up areas. They can appear there. They can appear while using the hoe. What else? You can get them from defeating monsters, from chopping down trees. So basically, the more you play, the more likely you are to find them. That's the long and short of it. Speaking of things I want to find, I am down here, yes, to grab a snow yam. And ideally, I would like to find a second one just in case, but if not, no big deal. There we go, that'll work. And then, I'm going to come back to this because I want to get to Clint before he closes. We'll start with these. Anything interesting? Not really. Pretty sure we already have that, as we have most of these, yep. And the other thing... Oh, he's still working on steel pan. Okay, well, I can't do that yet. The hoe is the next thing that I want to upgrade, though, because you can actually use the hoe to make pretty good money by just picking up the snow yams and the winter roots, if you can believe it. Because if you go through the areas, you'll pick up quite a few. Alright... Juicy Bugs Wanted or Rock Rejuvenation? I'm going to pause real quick and check to make sure I have not done either of these, but I'm fairly confident I have not done either of these. Alright, I am back. I checked. I have not done either of these. Looking at the rewards as well, because I did double check those, I'm not too terribly keen on either of these, but if I have to pick between the two, I guess I'm going to grab Rock Rejuvenation. This is bar and away the easier of the two. In fact, I can probably get this done today, as it's not too terribly hard. Hey, I'm going to invite some friends over to do a rock rejuvenation ceremony, but I'll need some crystals to channel the right energies. Do you think you can lend me a hand? To deliver a ruby, topaz, emerald, jade, and amethyst to Emily. Just one of each. That's it. It's a lot of things, but it's not too terribly difficult. Hey, Maru. Oh, man, it's so cold. Yep, I know the feeling. I don't right now, though, because I believe the high for today is 103. As I mentioned, it is June. Nah, I just can't reach it. Well, I can get up from this infernal chair. Hey, man, I gotcha. Thanks, young man. Anytime. Happened 30 years ago. I was working in the coal mines. We were near the end of our shift, but there was one last seam that needed to be broken up. Went in there aiming to set off a stick of dynamite, but my foot slipped into a crack and I dropped it. Dynamite exploded on impact. Next thing I remember, I was laying in the hospital and they told me I'd never walk again. So there you have it. You probably just figured I was too old to walk. I'll have you know I'd be spry than a spring chicken if I hadn't been in that accident. You've been very nice to me, young man. I appreciate that. When you're old, you start to forget that anyone cares about you. He's a good dude. Yeah, that's something you'll notice with... I wouldn't even say older folk, but yeah, I definitely understand they probably have the feeling of, you know, being left behind, whether it's, you know, because your friends and, you know, people about your age start passing, and also because, you know, quote-unquote, something today's youth, if they're all off you know, going on their own adventures, and you wish you could go as well, which is completely understandable, but yeah. Getting old is not easy. But there we go. Back to happier news. We've completed another bundle, and we've completed another section. When we're done here, we'll return to the other world. Ladies and gentlemen, that is number 5, I believe, of 6 for the community center. Indeed it is. I'll watch him drop that star out. We are down to just this final one down here. We need a nautilus shell and a rabbit's foot. And that's all we got left. Oh, it just went dark outside there. You can see, you'd be thinking, oh, 4 p.m. dark outside. But yeah, remember, this is winter. Yeah, we did it. So since it's winter, yeah, it's going to start getting darker outside much sooner, much how it took longer for it to get dark outside during the summer. Let's see, where do we go from here? I guess we could do the farming stuff we need to as well. Of course, if you are inclined to go fishing, there will be different fish that will be available now. I think I showed in the last episode things that are no longer available and things that will be, so no need to go over that. So we'll drop this stuff off here. And then I'll figure out where we go from this point. Like I said, I do want to keep some of these for now. I'll start selling them decently quickly here. And I am going to plant those seeds as well in a second. As soon as I've dropped everything off that I need to. This is a summer or fall, so we'll put it in, I guess, summer. That can just be dropped in there. Can't use these till tomorrow, so I'm not going to worry about them. And there's the watering can. Perfect. That's not where I wanted that. Right there. There we go. I'm not too terribly worried about the farming for this particular season. At the very least, not for the winter things. If I'm doing a lot of planting, it will likely be in the greenhouse, not out here. But that said, I do want to get these planted so that they're growing, because while it's not a lot of money, it is still something. And pretty much the only way to get the powder melons is from hoeing up the little tiles that you find with the wiggly spots, so I don't believe they can be bought in stores, at least not typically. Honestly, I probably don't even need to water or watch. Let's try that again. I don't even need to hoe that many tiles because they're probably honestly fine as they are. And the dogs are barking again, which is lovely. A PSA to any pet owners. If you have pets, please do not let them just scream at anything that walks by that has a pulse. It's very annoying. And your neighbors don't like that. Figured at least a little bit of that noise get through so you can hear it. Yeah. I believe they moved in whilst I was out, which I'll probably talk about during the next day. But yes, there was a reason that I was gone from Stardew for as long as I was. It did not have anything to do with like getting burnt out. It was actually me not physically being even in the same country. So yeah, as a result, was obviously... I probably could have asked, hey, can I borrow a microphone and recorded, but you know, it wouldn't have been the same. It would have been more... it was and would have been more important to just focus on not doing too terribly much work and enjoying the vacation. So that was what I did. Alright, let's get these planted. Okay, there's those. Now the powder melons. How many days do these take to grow? 7? That's not too bad. We'll see if the mixed seeds will work here. No, they will not. I guess that makes sense, too, because all they could be is the powder melon, so... As they're out of season, we'll throw them back into the spring chest, as that will be obviously the next season that they can be used. So we're good there. We could try to get to Emily with the rock rejuvenation stuff she needs. Let's double check. Ruby, Topaz, Emerald, Jade, Amethyst. Ruby, Topaz, Emerald, Jade, and Amethyst. She's probably still at work right now, so we can just go ahead and drop those off to her. And like I said, there are a lot of events going on, so this means that for a good long while I won't have to worry about the big quest here. Oh, here's Abigail. I didn't bring this up, but you've probably already also noticed that NPCs have different clothing in the winter, trying to keep warm. It's a nice little design thing that was added, I believe, in the 1.6, so I do very much appreciate just that small little thing and having all the extra sprites of, characters should bundle up more when it's cold and snowing. I guess you're wondering why I'm in the graveyard at this hour. Yeah, what's up? Well, I'm here because it's the best place in town to find some privacy. That's probably not true, but okay. I'm all sweaty because I've been practicing my swordsmanship. Hey, what do you think, I'm too weak to swing a blade? I didn't say that. Sorry, I guess I'm getting a little defensive. You see, I want to explore the mountain caves, but I know it's too dangerous to go out in there unarmed. It is dangerous to go alone. You've used a sword before, haven't you? Yes, and it's exciting. Yes, but only in self-defense. Yes, but it's dangerous. You should stay safe. Or no. Okay, well, that's just outright a lie. I'm going to check and see what the values are here. You'll, of course, be seeing that on screen shortly, but I will be right back. Alright, we are back. You're seeing it on screen. Well, actually, no, I can just say it out loud. It's easy enough. So, no doesn't do anything to friendship. Yes, but it's dangerous. Takes away 100 points. And the remaining two you can pick between as they both give you 10 points. So, I'm going to go with, yes, but only in self-defense. Sure, I don't want to kill anything either. I just want to do a little exploring without risking my neck. Fair enough. Lived in the valley my whole life, but I've really never done anything memorable. I want to go on an adventure. There's Pierre just hiding in the tree the whole time, like a weirdo. Looking all over for you. Your mother wants you to come home and help with dinner. What are you doing in the graveyard anyway? This is no place for a young lady. What were you doing hiding behind the tree watching us, you weirdo? Think I should be at home cooking dinner because I'm a girl, don't you? You're really stuck in the past, Dad. Let's get out of here, Delta. Well, you coming or not? Yeah, I'm getting out of here. Come back! Nah. Okay, my dad won't find us here. Can you believe my parents are ever young? They don't understand my perspective at all. I know. They grew up in a different era with different values. It still takes me off sometimes, okay? Well, thanks for hearing me out, Delta. Now, could you help untangle my hair from this bush? I like that we're getting to see events more often now. It's nice. And I'm going to try to focus on friendship a little bit more during the winter. Here you can see. Oh, Krobus has a birthday today. We should be able to get to him in time, I think. We'll see. But yes, there are quite a few birthdays. I couldn't remember any of them except Sebastian's is on the 10th, but I knew at least there was one more before his. So yeah, a lot of festivals going on here. Festival of Ice. There's the Squid Fest that goes on as well. There's the Night Market. There's the Feast of the Winter Star. There's quite a bit going on to kind of counteract the fact that you can't really do a lot of farming. But for the time being, let's just focus on what we need to focus on. Careful an icicle doesn't fall on your head. Yeah, I'll try not to. So there we go. That'll give you 1,000 G. It will also give you a little bit of friendship with Emily as well. And I don't know if we can do it right now, but it will unlock a cutscene at Emily's house. And you'll also get a physical reward as well. Yeah, it's locked. That's alright. So let's head back home, and I will see if I can't get something to Krobus, as the sewers are always unlocked. It should be pretty easy to get to him and give him a little something. Because we haven't really built up any friendship with him yet. It's unfortunately all too easy to forget, like, oh yeah, there's somebody in the sewer as well. You wouldn't think they'd hang out there, but that's where they are. Okay, we don't need the watering can anymore. We just needed it for today. We don't really need the scythe either. Very quickly, I'm going to go see what he likes, and then I will be right back. Alright, I am back, and that's easy enough. We'll just take a diamond to him. Nice and simple. I suppose I could have gone the other way to have a little bit more variety, but this will do just fine. It's always kind of eerie, but in a good way, of like how silent it is in the winter as well. Like, music doesn't really play as much, especially later in the day. Just things are more quiet, they're more muffled because of the snow, just like in real life. It's cool. I like it. Oh, a gift to remember the day that I hatched. Thank you. Yeah, got anything interesting? You do have that star drop, and I could collect that right now. That is tempting. I think I'm going to grab it, actually, because I'm not sure off the top of my head what else I need money for, like, in the immediate future, so, yes, I think I'm going to grab that. I mean, I have to pick it up sooner or later, right? It's strange, but the taste reminds you of Pokemon. Your maximum energy level has increased. Yes, we could go and try to pick up a few more forageables down here. I didn't really check the right-hand side of the beach. I was kind of coming down here for tilling some of the ground and potentially finding a Nautilus shell, but those might only appear at a certain point in the winter, not just winter specifically. It does appear that there's nothing else here, so we'll just go on our merry way, I suppose. Hey, Willie. Ah, you caught the angler, did you? A good first step in the world of rare fish, that one. I did pick that up. There's also one of these, too. I don't think I can get in his house anymore. Yep, not right now. Yeah, I'll hang on to that prize ticket. Everyone's heading home for the night, so we shall do the same. And then once we get into... Well, I guess we could do that now. There's not going to be too much difference between day 1 and day 2 here. It's just we're a little bit more settled in. Things are planted, so there's no need to worry about farming, so we'll have that taken care of. So maybe I'll poke around and, I don't know, maybe do some gift giving, potentially? I'm not really sure yet. Not really sure. I do want to make sure I get the hoe upgraded, but that is another job for another day. No, I don't want to drink that. I'm just going to go here. Some more blueberry jelly. We are running kind of low on those, so I think I'm going to potentially flip over to here and start with the cranberries, I think, for both wine and the jelly. Oops. Just walked right past it like a dumbass. And there we go. And of course, with another bundle done means another repair, and this time it is the bridge into an area we've not yet been into. So maybe we'll have a look at that as well. Small little profit there. Every little bit helps. Your steel pan is ready. Good, good. Spirits are very displeased. Weather is going to be clear and sunny. Also, I think that was the thing I was actually keeping my money for, was probably to do that upgrade, but I should be able to just bring some steel bars and be perfectly good. Hi Delta, thanks again for the wonderful gemstones. These will be perfect for my energy realignment work. Wanted to thank you with this special gift. I hope you create some wonderful items with it, Emily. Get the sewing machine. Hey Delta, I just wanted to let you know about a new item I'm carrying. It's called a wood chipper. You can use it to break hardwood into several pieces of regular wood. I know wood can be hard to come by in the winter, so if your supply gets low, consider picking one up. Robin. Hey, I've got a little challenge for you. Catch me a squid. You can fish in the ocean at night. They only show up in the winter, though. Willie. So first and foremost, the sewing machine. It's a nice little extra piece. You can place cloth or dyeable clothing and then feed in the materials, so you can put in, you know, whatever you like. We're not going to worry about it for now, but it will come in handy later when I want to start redesigning my character costumes a little bit more. As for catching the squid, we'll do that at some point. It's not an immediate thing. They are decently challenging, but also the squid tournament's coming up, and we'll be doing that then. And also, there's no time limit to this, so we've got plenty of time to work on it. As for the wood chipper, that thing is basically useless. I'm aware that the hardwood stumps do regrow, so you technically could get that, but honestly, you're better off just keeping the hardwood, to be perfectly honest with you. Unless you are really hurting for wood, but you should be, hopefully, catching on to the idea well before this point of making sure that you've got that resource available just in case, because you never know when you might need it. So, probably not that important. So you can see things are starting to grow here, so we'll do a quick little bit of routine. And also, we have got our extra shed built. So you can see there's a fair bit of space in here, and we are going to be making use of that. But for now, let's quickly grab everything else. I'll just swing on over here. Since it's been a bit, I'll show the routine, but I'm sure later on I'll probably omit it again. Pieces of coal, I'll take that. That won't be doing anything. This, of course, is still growing. There's no traveling merchant today, so don't need to worry about that. So we can just continue on our merry way. What to do? I do need to get that upgrade done for the hoe, so we'll move these down here. Like I said, I do kind of want to check the bulletin board in town, show off that other area. I'm just going to grab a bunch of these real quick and just make sure I've got enough money to give to Clint to be able to still make that upgrade. That should be plenty, to be perfectly honest with you. But rather than walk to that new area, why don't we just take a little shortcut here. Do note that the oak resin, maple syrup, pine tar, all of those will still occur during the winter. You can still pick those up. But yes, you'll have a new destination, the quarry. As you can see, there's quite a bit here. This is basically an area where you can sort of treat it like the mines. All of these rocks will regrow as time goes on, and there are some rocks that you probably typically wouldn't see, like these ones that are filled with coal. There are also trees here. You can, of course, chop those down. This is also a not terrible spot to actually plant trees. If you need the wood, but you don't like having trees on your farm, this is a very good space where you can just plant a ton of them in a non-winter season and let them grow here. And then when you need to grab more wood, you just swing by this area. It's pretty handy for that. So I am going to clear this out again after I come back to Clint's, but I do want to show off this rock right here. This is a special type of rock that will always give you at least one piece of iridium ore, I believe. But it also, I think, question mark, it'll pop up on screen, has a chance to give you a prismatic shard. So if you see one of those, be sure to try and open it. Alright, the steel pan. You received a steel pan. Alright, let's see, oops, if I've got enough with... No, not quite. Where did I get this ruby? Oh, I just picked that up, right? I don't really need it then. I'm gonna have to come back with a little bit more money, but I can do that really quickly. I'll just swing by the bus stop. Chuck a few more things in here. I'll go ahead and put the steel pan in there as well. Take like half of those. I don't really need that many quartz. That's probably plenty, I would think. Would hope, anyway. I said that last time and it wasn't, so you never know. And we'll get that upgraded. But yes, now, I did say I was going to talk a little bit about the vacation. I would recommend also, and it's hopefully up by this point, I did do like a quick little video where I was playing Double Dash and kind of talking about the vacation there. So if you want more full details, that's probably a better spot to go watch all that. But yes, there we go. Before I get distracted. Oh, it's 25. Ah, curses. Foiled again. So yes, I was on vacation from roughly about the 17th of May until the 9th of June, which technically extended a little bit both ways, but that was when I was, at the very least, out of the country. What am I going to grab here? Grab these, grab like another half of those. I'm hoping that'll be enough. Now I'm not, like, fully convinced it will be, though. So yes, I was out of the country. I went to the UK, which was my first time flying overseas. Went there to meet some friends and go to a couple of conventions. I think I talked about last episode as well that I might be taking a break sooner than expected because I had applied for a job at the VR convention. And yeah, as it turns out, I did get that job. That was not nearly enough. Alright, new plan. I know what I'm going to hopefully do to be able to get enough points here. So yeah, was staffing at that con, the second one that I went to as part of the writing team there, which was a pleasant surprise, but it was a surprise. I guess you can't sell those. It was a pleasant surprise, but it was a surprise nonetheless that I did get that position. Not because I think I'm a poor writer or anything, but I was thinking, oh, there's probably not that much of a chance that they'll choose me, and I thought that there was probably maybe about somewhere between 5 to 8 other people that applied. It turns out it was about 30 people that applied, which just made it that more surprising that I actually got the position, because it was like, surely I was not the best choice, but they seemed to think so for some reason, which is still baffling to me. That'll work. No, not shop. Upgrade tools. Perfect. Back down to the low money, but as we know, that is always fixable. I'll put these away and then go do some quarry work. Because rocks and trees are not the only thing that you can find over there. Hint, hint. I'm getting the battery low warning on my headphone now, but we should have plenty of time to finish out the episode. So yeah, I had been planning for this vacation for a good bit of time, almost a full year. So the short version of the story, I suppose we can go over. So I headed out, and I would highly recommend, if anybody is planning on flying anytime soon, if you can avoid flying American Airlines, please avoid flying American Airlines. I had 7 flights in total between going there and coming back, and 5 of them were American, and of those 5 flights, 0 of them went according to plan. I wish that were a joke. It is not a joke. 0 of them did. The remaining 2 that were not with American Airlines went flawlessly. They were actually quite great, and mercifully, the flying part was the only part that did not go well. I'm a decent flyer. I get motion, or not motion, but like airsick kind of easily, slash altitude sick is probably the better answer because it's not just specifically flying. But as long as I, take anti-nausea for it, and then I should be okay. And even then, if the plane isn't turbulent, then I should usually be okay as well. But yes, was in order of flights, I was flying from my town to Phoenix, Arizona. That flight got delayed by about 2.5 hours because one of the light bulbs in one of the bathrooms, oh, there's one of the notes, we'll go over that in a bit, was not working. That was the only reason the plane got delayed, yes. Apparently they forgot that A, there's a window in the bathroom, and so there's light in the bathroom because the flight was during the day, the early morning. B, there's multiple bathrooms, so if one is out of order, you just use the other bathroom. C, that it wasn't that long of a flight from where I was initially starting to Phoenix. And D, and most importantly, everybody has a cell phone, therefore everybody has a flashlight, so if it really is that big of a deal, you have an extra light there. Also, how it took them 2 hours to repair a single light, I have no idea, but they managed to do it. I probably could have gotten out of the plane, driven to Walmart, gotten the light needed, driven back, and installed it faster than that, but, yep, they took their sweet time, which of course caused me to miss my second flight, because you would think a 2.5 hour layover was plenty of time, and in normal circumstances that would be true, but not in this case. So that got delayed. Instead of flying from Phoenix to New York City, which is what I would have been doing, I had to fly from Phoenix to... oh, where was it? For whatever reason, my brain just cannot remember the name of the town. Or city, rather. But I had to fly from Phoenix, Arizona to California, which, as I said, I was heading to the UK, so we are going in the wrong direction now. Had just enough time to get off the plane, maybe had like 20 minutes to eat a very light meal, and then got back on the next plane flying from there to NYC. The problem with plane number 3 was it was incredibly turbulent, and as a result, myself and many other people on that flight ended up getting sick because of the turbulence. Because it's not a short flight. It's from one end of the United States to the other, basically. And it was turbulent the entire way there. So, yeah, people unsurprisingly got sick. So, that part was awful. Ended up having to stay the night in NYC because, of course, again, the initial flights that I had planned did not work out. So, I'd missed those flights. Also, let's do the secret notes here. Greetings, Delta. If you found my secret in the dark tunnel, I look forward to meeting you. Key. I found some good things by looking in the garbage cans on lucky days. Sometimes you'll find the dish of the day behind the saloon. Usually fresh. For dessert, I'll check the Molnar's can for cookies. That is George and Evelyn, by the way. And I guess Alex. For treasures, check the cans by the blacksmith in the museum. So some of these are like little small hints. Some of them are actually more important things, so it kind of varies. You're not going to know what secret note you get until you actually get it. So just keep hunting around for them. I'm going to ignore the enemies in here unless I really have no choice because I'm trying to make my way towards the end of this little mini dungeon here to show what is there. Because you will want to pick this up. I will fight those guys, though, because they drop some treasures that can otherwise be semi-hard to find for the museum, so... that's not what I was referring to when I was saying treasures, but sure. He'll come back around. No dice there. Alright, we'll keep going. Get around that. Perfect. And this, at the end of the tunnel, is what you're looking for. This little Grim Reaper statue with a golden scythe. You received a golden scythe. How is this different? It's more powerful than a normal scythe. I guess you'll have to see what that means later. You can also click on the statue to leave, because other than those enemies, that's really all there is there in particular, so I'm not too terribly fussed about it. I think we'll just work on supplies from here. So yes, took the flight that got reorganized. It was at the same time, just the following day. That one was not an American, and again, it went without flaw. It was absolutely perfect, and I guess if there was one flight that had to work correctly, I'm glad it was the one that was a 9-hour flight, as opposed to the one that was, well, theoretically supposed to be about an hour, but ended up being about 3.5. So then, heading back, I get on that flight, again, international flight, same flight company as it was the first time, again, without flaw. This time I get to Orlando, Florida. And then, of course, because it's American Airlines, apparently, because that's the running joke, they would not allow us to fly into DFW because of a storm. This initially seems like a completely valid argument, as obviously you don't want the plane getting hit by lightning or anything like that. But then, upon further inspection and obvious inspection, it was very clear that the storm was dissipating. They canceled the flight about 4 hours before it was going to take off. The storm had already been dissipating by that point, and it was also moving north. And sure enough, with me and everybody else that got their flights canceled to DFW, we watched that storm, and by the time that we would have arrived, not only was the storm basically gone, it wasn't even in the same state anymore. It wasn't anywhere close. And because it was canceled by air traffic control, this also means that they did not compensate us in terms of giving us a hotel or anywhere to stay, so everybody had to do that out of pocket. I'm not usually the type of person to say compensate me, but if you're going to stick me somewhere and I have to pay for a hotel room, I feel like that's enough to be like, yeah, this was your decision to cancel this flight, not mine. 12 o'clock noon sharp, last day of the season. Check the bush above the playground. So yeah, needless to say, there was not anybody that was too terribly impressed with that stunt. So we all had to pay out of pocket, stay the night at various hotels, came back, and then got the flight from there to DFW. And then, of course, the DFW one, because that was the last flight back home, it took them an additional hour and a half because they didn't have any crew or any pilot. To add to the humor of that, of course, there were 3 separate pilots on the flight that were all trying to get home, same as me, because that was their last flight. And I'm presuming because it was they were probably past their 40 hours for the week, they technically couldn't fly the plane home. Who could have done that? Who indeed? So yeah, multiple people that absolutely had the capacity to fly the plane home could not fly the plane home, even though they wanted to get home probably more than anybody else did. So yeah, that part was an absolute mess. The good news is, like I said, that was the only thing that went wrong. Everything else was phenomenal. Thought for a minute that was a secret note as well. I think I'm just going to go poking around the trash cans here for the rest of the day. I'm not going to do anything too terribly intensive. I'll check the beach for anything. Maybe a Nautilus shell if there is one. But I think that will be it. But the actual trip was great. I'll probably talk about that in the following video. Today's kind of or this week is kind of a weird week in terms of work. Now that I'm back at work, because everybody is off on a trip to Colorado right now, which is normal. They do this every single year, but the overnight staff does not go. And because of that, I don't have a hoe to till that up. Well, heck. But because of that, obviously, normally I wouldn't have any hours, but we are doing like a huge training thing, which is going to suck. I would rather just have no hours and just take the L, to be perfectly honest with you, on money. But I'll be working from about 9 o'clock to about 4:30 in the afternoon today, tomorrow, and the following day, which for y'all will be the 16th, 17th, and 18th of June, 2025. So by the time this goes up, it'll probably be past that point or almost past that point. I guess we could keep poking around. Yeah, we'll keep poking around for, like, forageables and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a weird work week where I'm actually working, like, normal almost 9 to 5 hours. So, sleep schedule's a bit odd. And then they've got a replay going on for all the staff that were on the second convention, which was really, really nice. Because, you know, if you're staffing on the convention, you don't always have time to go to the events and stuff like that. Especially for, like, more so the photography team and stuff like that, less so for the writing department. Oh, hey, Mario. But as a result, this kind of gives people the opportunity to see all and listen to all the DJs that they may not necessarily have been able to. Delta, I'm surprised to see you here so late. Yeah, I was just, you know, poking around. The night sky looks amazing right now. It does, it's very pretty. Here, take a peek. Sure. What do you see? A beautiful planet or a cold dark abyss? Let me check and see if there's a right answer here, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Yes, there is an obvious answer. Cold dark abyss is minus 30 friendship. Beautiful planet is plus 30 friendship. So, a beautiful planet. It's amazing, isn't it? By the time any of these stars are visited, you and I will be long gone. I guess that's the trouble with being human, huh? Well, it's not about how much time you have, it's about what you do with it. Never mind. Here, let me show you a binary star system. I love that these later cutscenes are a lot more intensive, where it's not just you talking to a person. What a beautiful night. Mara showed me something new. See, let's do a little bit more poking around. I know it said the spirits were mad, and I know that means that they're not going to be a very high likelihood for any forageables, but hey, you never know. Do a quick little poke around up here. This is another good spot to use the hoe if you've got the Iridium level one. And that's really the only level I would recommend, like, doing that whole searching for forageables, is you probably do need Iridium level to make it worthwhile. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with it. You'd be probably better off spending your time fishing or doing something else. And even then, that may not be necessarily a year one thing. If you're looking for foraging levels, it could probably be pretty handy, but without it, I mean, there's probably other stuff your time is better spent doing. But hey, that is up to you, the player. Let's move to Iridium now, since I used up a couple of those. Drop these off. So there we go. There's all of our winter forageables. The winter root doesn't really count because you can get that at any time of year, but these are kind of your big ones. I don't really want to throw any of that away. I do want to keep these. I think we're good enough to put in the gold star coral at this point. So we'll drop this off and head to bed. Ideally, I'm going to get another one of these recorded after I'm done with work. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to get another one done before I have to leave for this morning. I could double check that real quick, since my phone is charging down here. 7:43. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough time. I need to be heading out by about 8:20-ish, so probably will not have enough time. Well, you know what? I might have enough time. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make time. But we will talk more about that next episode. 2012, man, that feels like half a lifetime ago. But nope, I'm older than that. In fact, I'm older than Google. Don't believe me? Look up when Google was. It's actually not as surprising as you might think. Either way, those have been the first 2 days of winter, and we'll see a little bit more of winter again, as it's kind of a slow burn, but I think that actually lends itself pretty well to just the winter month as a whole. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one when, let's see, on the 4th, we'll have our Iridium hoe back. Until then, we'll kind of poke around and see what all there is to do. Shut off the new area as well. So, as for what's new, well, that's to find out in the next one. Take care, and I'll see you all then. Later.